Marvel is cooking with Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Yesterday, the trailer was leaked online by none other than Krysten Ritter, who plays Jessica Jones. Fans noticed that this was the teaser trailer and it's all over the internet. Now, of course, can't show it in this video, but in this video, I'll be breaking down everything that is shown in the trailer and potentially what I think could happen in Season 2 just from the trailers. And there's a lot to break down.
How did you just do that? I'm a really good lawyer.
This past Saturday, recently, it was the New York City Comic-Con where they showed a lot of Marvel trailers, including Wonder Man, X-Men 97 Season 2, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2, and some details on Vision Quest. But of course, what I'm most excited for is Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Now, if you guys don't know, the original Daredevil series is my favorite show of all time. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3 are so fantastic and so well written. Summarize it, the Netflix series just was a masterpiece. But in March of this year, we recently got Daredevil Born Again, which is pretty much a continuation of the original series, but it takes place 10 years into the future. If I'm correct, the original series took place in 2017, and Born Again takes place in 2027. Born Again had a lot of fans mixed on the show, with some fans saying it was an amazing show and some fans saying it was really disappointing. Me personally, I loved it, and I loved every single second of it. There are some bad episodes, and sure, the writing is all over the place, but that is because of the whole overhaul thing. If you don't know what that was, is pretty much the showrunners and the actors and Kevin Feige knew that what they were doing wasn't true to the fans. It wasn't true to the original show. So Kevin Feige fired all of the writers on the original concept of Daredevil Born Again and hired new writers to write what we know is Daredevil Born Again. But now I want to skip over this, and I really want to talk about what's the point of this video, and that's the Born Again Season 2 trailer. But it's only 19 seconds, and in these 19 seconds, there is a lot that is shown. There is a potential team up with Daredevil and Bullseye. We see the first look at Jessica Jones in this season. We see the first look at the suit in the actual show. We see some church shots. We see Karen Page. We see start off with Wilson Fisk laughing at something. We see more of the anti-vigilante task force. We also see some action scenes, which very excited to see those because those are always the standouts in the seasons. I want to break down the most important things that come out of this trailer because there is a lot. And the whole trailer was shown at the New York Comic-Con on Saturday. First thing I want to talk about is all the stuff that was released on Twitter about the whole trailer and what we could potentially see. First thing is a romantical scene with Karen Page and Matt Murdock, where they are seen kissing and dancing. Now, my thoughts on this, that it's probably a flashback, since we do know that Matt Murdock is going to be missing in this season, or at least act like he is missing. I really don't think we'll see them actually dance or kiss, just because I don't think they'll have time for that. I think Matt Murdock or / Daredevil would be a little busy just because he has all this going on and planning on what he's going to do. One of the biggest things we hear about is the return of Foggy Nelson. Yes, you heard that correct. Foggy Nelson is back in Season 2. Now, I do think this is just a flashback. I don't think they're adapting the story in the comics where Foggy fakes his death, and it's a really cool story, but I don't think they'll adapt that. I think this is probably just a flashback scene. Charlie Cox did say,
me and another character did a flashback scene, but we're flashing back to 2015 when we started the show.
Another thing that was shown in the full trailer was Wilson Fisk in a boxing match, which we did hear about back in April, I'm pretty sure. There is a video on TikTok where Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox are thanking everyone for seeing Born Again Season 1, and they are in the gym that Matt always used to train in, and you could see that there is a boxing event going on, and Wilson Fisk probably kicked ass. I really want to see why he's doing this and what's the whole point of it. I think it's a cool thing to see, and I'm excited to see him box, especially if it's just a random person that decided to box him. But that is pretty cool to hear that Wilson Fisk is also doing other stuff than just being a mayor and being Kingpin too, so I do like that. Something else that was shown too, and I think this is the last thing that I will talk about, but the full trailer that was reported, and apparently Matt Murdock, Karen Page, and Poindexter are all going into a bar and getting milkshakes. And I think this potentially could be them talking about that they need to team up and put their differences aside. Now, some people might think this is stupid, some people might think this is bizarre, but I really think this is a smart idea. And I'll explain why later. But I do want to get into those 19 seconds that everyone was shown. Now, I'm not going to show those 19 seconds just because I don't want this video to get copyrighted and take it down, but I will show pictures. They'll be very, very slow, and if you want to see the pictures, feel free to pause and take a look for yourself. If you do want to see the trailer, I'm telling you, it's out on TikTok. Just search up Daredevil Born Again Season 2 trailer and you'll find it. The trailer opens up with Wilson Fisk laughing at who knows what. We see Wilson Fisk in the first 2-3 seconds of this 19-second trailer that we see. I don't know what this can be about, so I'm really not going to talk about it too much. A lot of the things I do want to talk about is some action scenes and church scenes that we see. We see the anti-vigilante task force for a little bit. We see their car crashing into another car, causing an explosion. After that, we see a shot of Matthew Lillard's character, who is announced to be playing Mr. Charles, which I don't know who Mr. Charles is. I guess we'll have to find out next season. I've tried to do some research about Mr. Charles, but I really couldn't find anything. I'm not sure if he was even in the comics. But what we do know is that he's going to be an antagonist against Wilson Fisk, which sounds pretty cool, and he could potentially be with Daredevil's army. I'm pretty sure that shuts down the rumors of him playing Muse, the actual real Muse, which was a big rumor for a while, but this definitely shuts that down. Right after the shot of Mr. Charles, we see someone putting up a missing poster, and on that missing poster is none other than Matthew Murdock. We've known for a while that he was going to be missing. When the set photos were going around, this is one of the first things that we saw, so we do know he is playing a little bit of hide and seek. Right after the shot of the missing poster, we see Charlie Cox as Daredevil in a church, which I'm pretty sure is the same church from the original series, which I'm so happy we're getting more church shots. I missed the religious part of the original series. I think that's what made it so good. We see Matt Murdock kind of crying for help or screaming. Not really crying for help, but we do kind of see him crying or just screaming or something. So I'm really curious what's that about. And then right after that shot, it's none other than Krysten Ritter's Jessica Jones. I'm so happy she is back this season. I think the dynamic between Daredevil and Jessica Jones is such a good dynamic, especially in Defenders. I love their dynamic, and it's an hilarious dynamic, but it works so well, and I can't wait to see her next season. She's an amazing Jessica Jones, the best Jessica Jones, and the only person who can really play Jessica Jones, so I'm so happy she's back. Hopefully we'll see the rest of the Defenders, but who knows, we'll have to wait and see. Right after that, we get some action with Daredevil in the black suit. I'm so happy that he's in this suit and he has the double D's on his chest, so let's freaking go. But we see him throw his baton at the anti-vigilante task force, who knows he's out there and they're hunting him down. And I feel like in this scene, this is the same scene that the set photos were leaked, where him and Bullseye are shown jumping out of the window of Fogwell's gym, which I think is potentially before they're trying to team up and the vigilante task force is chasing both of them down. So then he throws that baton behind him, knocks out some of the anti-vigilante task force, and gets right back at chasing Bullseye, who's trying to also run away. Right after this shot, we see none other than Wilson Bethel's Bullseye having that evil grin, evil smile that he always does. And I mean, he is just one of my favorite comic book castings of all time. I love Wilson Bethel as Bullseye, and he does such a great job. I cannot wait to see him this season. I feel like this is a fight with him and Daredevil, and it's after that fight. And I do think this is the same scene where maybe he's like, we need to team up, and I think Bullseye just think that's a joke. But I'm very excited to just see their dynamic this season and how it changes from the past couple seasons. After that shot, we see Daredevil putting his hand out and somebody grabbing his hand, but I do think this is Bullseye. In that shot, you see someone with a glove on, and it looks like Bullseye's glove. So I think the rumors of them teaming up is definitely true. Me and one of my friends saw this on the trailer, and we both went crazy because they are definitely teaming up, and this is going to be a generational team up. So I cannot wait for this. Right after that shot, we see Daredevil and Karen Page walking through an alleyway maybe, and I'm very excited for Karen Page in this season. I am very excited to see what she's going to do in this season. One of the set photos that were leaked was her in a disguise and in kind of a bandana covering her face, so I'm really excited to see what that was about. But we see Daredevil and Karen Page walking through this alleyway, I'm pretty sure. It might just be the church, who knows? But I'm very excited to see their dynamic this season. Right after that, we see a shot of some people pull up to a house with armor vests on and guns, which I'm very curious to see what this is about. But one of my theories is that maybe this is a scene with Daniel Blake, and the only reason I say this, in one of the set photos, we see Daniel Blake have blood all over his face in his shirt. I love Daniel Blake also. I love the character. He's the best side character to come out of the last season. So I'm very excited to see him this season. But we see him with blood on his face and on his shirt. So I'm wondering, maybe are they invading somebody's house, and is this an important character that we all should worry about? So I'm very excited to see what this is. Right after that, we see a shot of Wilson Fisk grabbing onto somebody's tie, and I genuinely think this is none other than Buck, which, if he kills Buck this season, that's kind of crazy to me. Buck in the comics is, I want to say, completely different from the show, which in the comics, he is a superhuman, and he has powers, he has strength and speed, and he's even stronger than Kingpin in the comics. So I'm wondering, is this actually Buck, and is Buck going to be a part of the team of Daredevil? Is he going to betray Kingpin maybe in this season? I don't think that will happen, but if that happens, that will be pretty interesting. I think Buck was pretty cool last season, and seeing a comic accurate adaptation of Buck would be pretty cool. Right after this scene, we see a action scene with Jessica Jones, and I'm so excited for that action in this season, and I think it's going to be amazing. Jessica Jones is shown grabbing a piece of a desk and hitting someone over with it and knocking out a anti-vigilante task force member. So I'm very excited to see Jessica Jones kicking ass in this season. I think it's going to be amazing. The last shot of this 19-second teaser is of Daniel Blake and Buck opening a trunk to a car, which, who knows, could potentially be a body in that trunk. I don't know whose body this could be, but I saw a theory saying that maybe in this season, maybe BB Urich dies in this season. Again, leads back to that set photo that we saw of Daniel Blake covered in blood, which potentially could he have just killed BB Urich, which I think would be insane. And if that's the body in the trunk, that's kind of crazy to me. But I wonder who it's going to be. If it's Adam, that'd be hecka funny, but I don't think it will be Adam. I'm very excited to see the rest of this trailer whenever it's posted. But other than that, I do want to get into theorizing of what we could see in season 2 just from this 19-second teaser and of the stuff that we heard from the full trailer. For these theories, there are a couple things I want to talk about, and these things are potential cameos that we can see, some deaths that can happen in this season, some team-ups that can happen in this season. Now, there are some potential cameos that I do think we could see in this season, but some of these are probably not going to happen just because of filming and the actors being busy during the filming of season 2. Cameo that is definitely happening is the Defenders. I do think all of the Defenders are coming back. We already know Jessica Jones is back, so that is already one of them. Technically 2, since we do also have Daredevil. But I would love to see Luke Cage and Iron Fist make their return and help Daredevil and Jessica Jones take back this city. I do think that that's really the only cameo we can really see this whole season. There are some other cameos that I would love to see, but I don't think we are going to get them. And here's who. First, I would love to see Jon Bernthal's Punisher come back again, but I don't think we'll get him this season just because of the filming process and how much Jon Bernthal was doing during the filming process of season 2. He had the Odyssey going on, he had the Punisher special presentation going on, and I'm pretty sure all of that just held him up, and I don't think he was available during the filming of season 2. It would be cool to see him. I don't think we'll see him in the trailers, but seeing him in season 2 would be dope. We did hear back in March or April that Jon Bernthal's Punisher was confirmed, but now I'm really thinking about it, I don't think that was true. Just like how I don't think Muse is confirmed to season 2, I don't think we'll see Muse. Another cameo that I would love to happen is Moon Knight. I don't think we'll get Moon Knight, but seeing Moon Knight would just be so dope. In the comic run, we do see Moon Knight, Spider-Man, Punisher, Echo, and the Defenders all coming together to defeat Kingpin. I just wish we can see that lineup, but I don't think we'll get it. Cameo that I definitely see happening is Echo. I see Echo returning in this season. I do think she'll come back. We do know she was mentored by Wilson Fisk and by Kingpin, so I definitely think there's a big chance that we can see her return during the season. I do want to drift away from cameos, and I want to talk more about team-ups. Now, for team-ups, everyone knows the biggest one I've been talking about, and that is Daredevil and Bullseye. Now, I think this is probably the most talked about thing out of this 19-second trailer. I know a lot of people who are big fans of this and are excited for this team-up, and I know a lot of people who are genuinely confused by this team-up. I know a lot of people who don't want this team-up, and listen, I can understand why. Why in the hell would these two team up? These two absolutely despise each other. I mean, Poindexter literally killed Foggy in season 1, and now Matt wants to team up with him. This makes no sense. But if you really think about it, it can actually work really well. Listen, I think Bullseye in the show is completely different than how he is in the comics. In the show, I feel like he has more of a background and more of an arc than he does in the comics. In the comics, I think he's just a skilled, psychotic killer. He just goes around and kills everyone. And I mean, there's some stuff where he does some outrageous things too that I don't want to say. But I think in the show, there's way more depth to his character, and there's way more background on his character. And listen, do I think the show version of Bullseye is better written than he is in the comics? Maybe. I think if you're talking in a manner of having an arc and actually having a background, then yes. I don't want to talk about that at all. I really just want to talk about that in the show. If you really think about it, they aren't really their worst enemy. Their worst enemy together are Wilson Fisk and Vanessa Fisk, two of the people who caused the most damage in their life. And especially for Poindexter. Poindexter in the show became Bullseye not just because of his past and not just because of his shitty childhood. He became Bullseye because of Wilson Fisk. Wilson Fisk brought out this side of him. He told him that this is the real you. Poindexter is not who you are. The real you is Bullseye. I did say that Bullseye in the show is completely different from how he is in the comics. I want to take that back because not really, he's still a psychotic killer, but with more of a background and with more of a arc. That's why if he goes on a redemption arc, I can kind of see why, but I don't really want to see that. Instead, what I want to see is the normal thing that happens a lot where one character uses another for a while and they become a team for a minute and then they go back to being enemies. But I think this time you can really pull it off with Daredevil and Bullseye. And I think there's a really great thing you can do by killing off an important character. I really think that you can make Bullseye use Daredevil to get to Kingpin and he ends up killing Vanessa. We all know Vanessa brought out this side of him again when he was in not just a prison but also in like a mental asylum and taking all those pills. She literally says to him, I'm offering you a chance to get your mind back, yourself. And she says this when she tells him to go kill Foggy. She uses Poindexter to go kill somebody, and Poindexter even says in the scene, you want me to kill somebody. You can tell he didn't want to do it, but he ends up doing it anyway. Now I do want to talk about Daredevil and his side of dealing with Vanessa and Wilson. Wilson Fisk has caused so much damage to Matt Murdock's friends, including Foggy Nelson, including Karen Page. He sends Bullseye to go kill Karen Page, and of course he misses. And we can't forget about Father Langdon, who is one of the biggest characters to Daredevil. Vanessa again hires Poindexter to go kill Foggy Nelson. There is so much that happens in season 3 and in Born Again where you can see the Fisk are clearly doing all the damage to these two. But the way this could work is that he uses Daredevil to get to Wilson Fisk, but he doesn't end up killing Wilson Fisk. He ends up killing Vanessa. And I think him getting Vanessa killed is going to cause a big problem with not just all of the vigilantes in New York, but Wilson Fisk and Daredevil. I think this is when Daredevil will finally drop him and be like, no, you can't change yourself. We all know how Daredevil feels about killing rules and killing people. I mean, we clearly see it with Punisher and him. We know how he feels about people getting killed. And that's the one thing he doesn't want to happen. If you guys have a different idea on how this could work and what could potentially happen, drop them in the comments because I really want to see your guys' theories. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is something that really needs to happen in this season, and I would love to see this to happen in this season, and that is Wilson Fisk still being mayor after season 2. I think at least having 3 seasons of Fisk being mayor, in the second season him winning, and in the third season we see him finally lose that spot of mayor, I think will be amazing. Even if it happens in this season, I wouldn't really be mad at it, but I am loving Mayor Fisk so much that I just want to see more of it. And I think it could even work in so many grounded projects, because this is really an interesting story. Well, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed Daredevil Born Again Season 1, and I hope you guys enjoyed Daredevil Born Again Season 2, and I hope you guys are excited for Season 2, because I know I am. If you want to see more Marvel talk, DC talk, film talk overall, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications so you never miss a post, and if you guys like today's video, go ahead and drop a like. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. And if you guys want to see what cameos you guys want to see, what team-ups you guys want to see, who do you want to see die in Season 2? There's a lot of people I want to see die in Season 2 that were in Season 1. But let me know, guys. I want to hear your thoughts. Other than that, I'll see you guys some other time. Peace.